Hello there. Today we are going to start in our video. Today in this class we are going to start about video. Let me take my pen. About interaction component diagram and deployed diagrams. We are going to see what do you mean by component diagram, and we are also seeing about deployment diagram in this video. What do you mean by component diagram? It is also known as UML component diagram. To remember it, describe the organization physical component. Describe the organization physical component of a system. Component diagram often drawn to help the model implementation details. Double check where aspect of the system requirement are required or not. The purpose of component diagram shows the relationship between different component of the systems. So it describes the physical usage, physical systems, correct? Component diagram uses the model for physical aspect of the system, like what are executable files, what are library files, what are the documentation, what reside in the node. Component diagram used for visualization, the organization relation. The purpose of this one is visualizing the component of the system, constructable, construct, sorry, one second please, sorry, construct executable by forwarding and reverse engineering, describe the organization relations with the component diagram. So it gives the physical aspect of the system component, and it give you the visualization of the system. Component diagram are used to describe the physical artifacts of the system that include files, executables, libraries, etc. Component diagram uses during the implementation phase. More important, it uses in the, however, it prepare well in advance. Visual representation is also very important. Diagram is very important, as without its application cannot be implemented. So it uses physical aspect of the system, correct? Now let's move on. The use of component diagram. Component diagram uses visualization of static. So we have already done it's static one. More important, the diagram show the physical component, model of the component of the system, model of the database, what your model of, what are the executable application, what are the source codes, how they are implementation. These are the things. That is what are the model of system, what is the model of the database, what are the executable files, and what are the source codes of it. Basic components are being described. Okay, high level abstract view of component. A rectangle with the component name, a rectangular with the component icon, a rectangular with stereotype of text or something. This is basic component. It can be represented in three. A rectangular box like this. If you represent this one, this is a component box, or a name with that one, correct? Order name. This is component, basic component diagram. That is what we have. Component is a logical unit block, slightly higher abstraction of the class. It represented a rectangular with a small rectangular at right hand part. This is called component. Interaction is small circle or semicircle or stick. Describe the group of operations. Correct. Component interact with this component. A full circle represent creation of a new cup. A half circle represent interaction. A full circle represent creating a new object, new component, correct? Like this. Dependency relationship is relation with dotted line. Show one part of a component is dependent on this one. This is dependency. Port symbolize the small square specifying the distinct interaction between the component. A distinct interaction between the component. A very unique, what you call, interaction between the component is represented with this one. A component diagram is represented. This is the name, distinct name, that is normal sale, ticket sale. This is what you call half circle, credit card. This is full circle, new component is created, and this is again priority sale, distinct operation, ticket seller. These are all interfaces, correct? Booking, lot, everything is representation. And component diagram catalog, order taking one, inventory one, order handling one. This is distant interactions. You can able to understand, and this is interaction between the interfaces. Correct. Order taking, interact, delegation contact, direct contact, connectivity, credit card, and everything. This is what a component diagram represents. And this is how an online railway reservation login form is. Correct. Home page, check availability. When it is there, it is dependent on this one. If this availability, book a ticket. If this is working, then this is working. Cancel a ticket, then fill the form. Once it is fill the form, it will go to the cancel ticket. It is also going to book the ticket and modify the form. This is also there. This is how a component diagram represent a distinct feature of hardwares, or we can say what are the different parts of this one. Component diagram in details of railway reservation. Check availability, home page, check availability, and modify form. Fill the form, cancel the ticket, and everything. There is no this one mark, and this is reservation class, and this is access class. This is how it goes up, how it interacts with database and other things. Just look at that here. What is that? Model of component of the system, how database, executable execution, what are the source codes. When you come down here, this is our database access. This is also access system, reservation class. This is one, how we access the database. This is for reservation access class. This is an open view for the view. So this is how a component diagram represent. And component diagram of a library. And this is a new one, how interact. Book, member, staff, transaction. This is one. And this is a search for a book, transaction, a dependency on all those things. And deploy diagram. Deployment diagram, the main purpose of deploy diagram is how the software install on hardware. Okay, it represented how software is installed on hardware. It what manner a software interact with the hardware, how interact with this hardware when it is executing. Both deployment diagram and component diagram are closely related to each other as they focus on hardware and software. The component diagram represent the component of the system, whereas deployment diagram describe how actually it is developed on the hardware or how it is implemented on the hardware. So component diagram represent the hardware part, whereas deployment diagram represent how software is deployed on that hardware. The following purpose of the deployment diagrams are to ensure the hardware topologies of the system. What are the system's hardware uses? To represent hardware component which the software component are installed. To describes the process of the node at the running time. Correct? It uses because it controls the following parameter: performance, scalability, maintainability, and portability parameters. Correct? The symbols which are represented, this is one component, this is interaction, this is artifacts, this is nodes. We are going to see all those in details. Correct? ATM, this is software, TCP/IP protocol, ATM servers, database. Deployment diagram, do remember it represents the softwares. Deployment diagram of online shopping, client, private network, private network, application servers, then it goes to here line, database servers, Oracle. So how the software works. Here also deployment diagram for railways, client. Every client uses its private network, railway reservation server, and you can able to use for printer, then application server, then database server. You are using Oracle server, correct? This is the one. And this is what you call your library login. Login system, initialize user panel, admin panel, user register, initialize checkout return, initialize book search, logout, admin panel, how it works out. Means it is how your front page look out for the software. Checkout systems, it is deployment diagrams. Checkout avoid, Search book, it is also a deployment diagram. Search, log out, what are the software, and manage and deployment diagram for library management system. Manage books and all those things are related. And this is one more of vehicle registration number. This is softwares, JDBC, message bus, and all this vehicle registration, web servers, client servers, application servers, database servers, and this is component diagrams, correct? So what does deployment diagram represent? Software. Component diagram represent hardware. I hope I have cleared it. Thank you very much.